Greetings and welcome to Assured Strategies Insights from the Summit. I'm Dr. Kimberly Bonnickson, and I'm pleased to welcome today David Chavez, CEO and founder of Assured Strategy. So our purpose is to guide leaders through change to find their freedom. Why is this such a critical mission for you as CEO?
Well, because I think that a lot of entrepreneurs we meet and end up working with, a lot of them are locked in their companies and can't understand why they can't get back to innovating. And they're so busy in the doing, the day-to-day operations of the company, that they're not actually getting to that dreaming side. And so what we're trying to do is get them back to the dreaming and get them back to the motivation of what the entrepreneurs really do and trying to solve problems in the marketplace. And that's really what we're focused on, getting them that time back so they can do that thinking.
I often hear you refer to it as working on the business instead of in the business.
Correct. Yeah, it's really that simple. I know that's sort of a term a lot of people say. We say it also, but it's whether they do it or not is the question. Our thing is, we're not the doers. We're the actual people that come in and ask the questions and get you focused on. You say, well, what do you add the value to how do you add value then if you're not helping do it? Our value comes through the questions and how we're helping you learn how to think at a different level and maybe help you see some of the blind spots that you're not seeing inside of your own company. Not because you don't actually physically see it, but you're not taking action on what you're seeing. So get you to ask you questions so you'll take that action.
Perfect. What leaders normally benefit from this kind of approach?
Well, really leaders that are open to change and are looking for that next level of growth inside of their company. What we found is that as companies start to scale and grow, that they start to plateau after a while and start to level off a little bit. And that leveling off really it's not a hurtful time for the companies, but it's a very frustrating time for entrepreneurs because the growth sort of flatlines. And even though they're still growing, it's just flat, though. It's not really growing at the rate that the entrepreneur thought about or dreamt about. And so if they're open to that and they're really wanting that next level is really where it really becomes valuable. Usually there's some inflection point inside of a company that really stirs this to the level of wanting to do something about it, to where we come in. And so we're always looking for the inflection point. What are they really trying to accomplish? And what's that point that they've reached that is causing this focus on change?
Looking for a spark to get things moving.
That's correct. Yep. And a lot of them just don't know where to get started because they're walking into their company. It's like if you walk into your house, you may not see some of the things that are wrong inside of your house because you're so used to seeing them all the time. Whereas fresh eyes come in and they can see it from a different perspective, and they ask the questions of, hey, why is this like this? And that really spurs the action that needs to be taken. So
the description that has always worked best for me with leaders is you just can't read the ingredients from the inside of the jar.
That's a great way of saying it too. Yeah, I've heard you say that before, and it's really.
So you've owned several businesses in the past, and I know you're really big about numbers, financial genius. Having worked with many clients in the past, how do you calculate their return on investment? When it comes dollars to dollars, is coaching worth it?
Yeah. Well, that's all depends on the coach, right? I'm not the right coach for every company. You're not the right coach for every company. So we have to figure out who the right coach is for that company to leverage that growth they're looking for. And when we're looking at return on investment, what we're really looking at with our clients is we're really trying to figure out what they're investing in us. How do we get them 3 times the return on that money? And we usually often we can do it within the first 3 months that we're working with them. And they're saying, and you might ask, well, what is that 3 times return on their investment? How do we quantify that? Well, it's quantified in usually profit. You may not see it right away, but the actions that you're taking will start to enhance that profit. And a lot of times what we see is a doubling or tripling of whatever the profit is. We don't guarantee their profit's going to triple. We just say the return on the investment is going to be 3 times what you invested. And we're pretty comfortable saying that. Matter of fact, we're so comfortable saying it that if you don't think we're able to do it after the first 90 days, we'll give you your money back. So
a big commitment.
Yeah, it is a big commitment. It makes us be really good at what we're doing. So
obviously no firm and no philosophy fits every leader. Are there cautions you would use and offer to ensure that leaders are comfortable with our approach and our expectations?
Are the things I would just ask them if they really want change, and they got to get comfortable with it. Do they really want that change that they're looking for? Or is there something in their business that's causing them disruption or they're not satisfied with? That's really what I think that we're really looking for.
If I had to pin you down to one reason that an executive might choose to work with Assured Strategies, what might that be?
I think they would want to choose Assured Strategies, one, because of the experience of our coaches. I mean, I think there's a lot of coaches out there that have just started coaching, been coaching for a few years, and usually that comes on a job shift. Most of our coaches have been coaching for a long time, and some of us for decades. So I think that really that's what separates us, and also our methodologies that we use. We're not locked into one methodology. We have used scaling up as our foundation of everything that we're doing, but there's several methodologies that we add to that to really enhance it and really get the clients with the results that they're looking for quickly. And what we're really trying to do too is get in there and do some assessments to really figure out how we can effectively help the company that we're engaging with quickly. So
fantastic. So I would also add that everything we do is backed by extensive research to make sure that we guide in the right way and in the right directions, and we see the results from our clients.
Yeah, I think that the research is really something that separates too, is just making sure that they actually understand who their real market is, and what are some of the attributes of those markets that are really driving what they're trying to drive inside of their company. So yeah, definitely believe that.
Fantastic. So we're grateful today to have been able to get an understanding of this organization, Assured Strategy. It's one we're quite proud of, and one that we enjoy working with our clients. It's rewarding, and it is it's one of those opportunities to do some good in the world that allows you to have a win-win, which is one of our core beliefs and values that we operate by, and help organizations to move through this treacherous journey of being a business in today's economic world. So thank you, David, for your time and for your expertise, and we welcome you to the next edition of Insights from the Summit.
All right, thank you, Kim. I appreciate you doing this for us.